You're talking to someone about your birthday. They ask what you're doing to celebrate. And you just say, nothing. It's just another day. And for some reason, that answer throws people off. They pause for a second, look at you a little differently, like something about that isn't normal. Some people think you're being negative. Others assume you're just in a bad mood. And somehow, not caring feels like a problem. But what if it's not? What if the fact that your birthday doesn't really matter to you actually says something deeper about how your mind works? Because this isn't random, and it's more common than most people think. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone who feels this way got there for the same reason. There are actually a few very different types of people who all end up saying the same thing. It's just another day. Some people slowly stopped caring over time. Others never really cared to begin with. And a small group sees birthdays in a completely different way. Let's start with the first one, because this one is a lot quieter than it looks. Some people don't celebrate their birthday anymore. Not because they don't want to, but because, at some point, they learned not to expect anything. You know that feeling when you were younger, and your birthday actually meant something? You expected people to remember, to show up, to make it feel special. But sometimes, that's not what happened. Maybe someone important forgot. Maybe it just didn't feel the way you imagined. And you didn't make a big deal out of it. You just adjusted. Quietly. But here's the part most people don't notice. Your brain doesn't just ignore those moments. It learns from them. Over time, it starts doing something very simple. It lowers your expectations. Because expecting less hurts less. And little by little, it's just another day. Stops being a thought and starts becoming a shield. But that's not the whole story. There's another type of person who feels the exact same way, for a completely different reason. They're not disappointed. They're not protecting themselves. They just don't feel anything about it. And it's not because they're cold. It's because their mind is somewhere else. These are usually people who are always thinking, always building something, always focused on what's next. And when your brain works like that, time starts to feel different. Days blend together. Weeks go by faster than they should. And your birthday? It just doesn't stand out enough to feel important. But here's where things start to shift. There's a third type of person, and this one is probably the most misunderstood. They don't forget their birthday. They don't ignore it either. They just don't need it. They've looked at the whole idea, the celebration, the attention, the special day feeling, and realized something simple. They don't need one specific day to feel like they matter. And this changes more than you think, because most people are always waiting for the next moment that makes them feel something, the next event, the next celebration, the next reason to feel important. But some people step out of that cycle. They stop depending on external moments to feel okay. And for a lot of people, that's uncomfortable to watch because it challenges something deep. The idea that everyone should want the same things, the same attention, the same celebration. But the truth is, not everyone does. And here's the question most people never ask themselves. If your birthday doesn't really matter to you, is that freedom? Or is it something else? Because there's a difference between not needing something and convincing yourself you don't. And only you know which one it is. But the fact that you're even thinking about it right now already says a lot. Maybe we've been measuring self-worth the wrong way this whole time. Maybe caring about yourself doesn't always look like a celebration. Sometimes, it just feels like being okay on a random day. And if that's you, maybe nothing is wrong with you at all. Maybe you just see things a little differently. So now I'm curious. Do you actually not care about your birthday? Or did you just learn not to? Either way, you're probably not the only one.